Good morning, teacher. Today I will explain some short descriptions about the decades from 1990 to 2020. The first one is the dawn of cloning in 1996. Dolly the ship enters the annals of bioengineering when scientists at Scotland's Roslin Institute become the first not to only successfully clone a mammal, but also the first to do so using an adult cell rather than an embryonic one. The second one is the terrorist attack on the Twin Towers 2001. On September 11, 2001, 19 terrorist members of the Islamic organization Al-Qaeda hijacked 4 commercial planes and managed to hit 3 of them on their targets, 2 in the Twin Towers in New York and 1 in the Pentagon. The third crashed in the open-air Washington, D.C. The attacks killed 2,997 people. The third one is America's first African American president, 2009, after defeating Republican Senator John McCain of Arizona by amassing 365 electoral votes and 53% of the popular vote. Barack Obama is sworn in as the first African American president of the United States. The fourth one is the catastrophic oil spill 2015. 11 workers died and 17 are injured after an explosion and fire erupts on the Deepwater Horizon offshore drilling rig 40 miles from the Louisiana coast. The last one is COVID-19 2020. The disease COVID-19 was first detected in Wuhan, China in late 2019. The virus spread to Europe and the United States in early 2020 and was declared a pandemic by the World Health Organization on March 11. Globalization is a historical process of global integration in the economic, political, technological, social, and cultural spheres, which has made the world an increasingly interconnected place. The emergence of globalization was introduced to promote inherent wealth among all countries in the world. The United States has notably been identified as the leader in globalization after the World War II. In 1993, they introduced the North American Free Trade Agreement, NAFTA, which was a movement aimed at eliminating trade boundaries and promoting globalization. In the 19th century, most countries started investing in new forms of transport and communication services. Terrorism is the use of force or violence against persons or material property in violation of criminal laws, with fines for intimidation or request for ransom money. In the 20th century, acts of terrorism became more prevalent throughout the world as a political, religious, and socioeconomic agitated for change. Politically, terrorism was originally theorized in the context of insurgency and guerrilla warfare, a form of organized civic violence by a non-state army or group. Political groups like the Viet Cong can be seen as choosing terrorism as a means of trying to right what they perceive to be a social, political, or historical wrong. Religiously, as thoughtful studies and commentators have repeatedly pointed out, such groups selectively interpret and explore religious concepts and texts to support terrorism. Socioeconomic explanations of terrorism suggest that various forms of deprivation drive people to terrorism, or that they are more susceptible to recruitment by organizations using terrorist tactics. Poverty, lack of education, or lack of political freedom are a few examples. The unipolar world are forces existing in a group of states in a certain region, continent, or international system where there is a single superpower polarizing that system. The unipolar idea, based on the end of the Cold War and the Soviet Union's retreat from its empire, never did make sense. Somehow, to take away one didn't equal one in the high math of international politics. A unipolar world is not the same as a system dominated by a single power that creates the rules as well as enforces them. It is crucial to the future stability of the unipolar world and to avoiding the chaos of a multipolar world. The digital era is the present time that offers a virtual space known as the Internet. It is due to the use of information and communication technologies. Half of us believe that increased use of digital media has improved our lives, according to recent research from the World Economic Forum. From social media to how we work, digital media is now integrated into much of what we do, improving our productivity and facilitating the way we interact and communicate. As a final conclusion, during the decades of 1990 to 2020, the world has changed and improved in many things. There were many changes and new technologies were also discovered. It is impressive to see how humans are always thinking of creating new things and moving forward. Although we also had many wars and terrorism was afloat. In the course of time, the world began to change, security was not the same, and to this day we continue to prove that people are unhappy due to lack of employment and bad government decisions. Although when it became unipolar, it had greater international influence and cutting-edge technological production complexes were developed, such as aeronautics, communications, or genetics. During this year, COVID-19 changed our lives and made us see the world in a different way. One of the advantages of globalization is that thanks to it we can obtain better quality products from other states, as well as medicines, and this helps us to find a vaccine against COVID-19. Thank you.